There are many powerful and deadly weapons in Phantom Forces, so here's an accurate chart. If the zip starts all the way down there, then that means the BFG is all the way up here, and if the BFG is all the way up there, then that means the spatula is all the way up here. So how do you turn the entire enemy team into sushi and not become this guy from Indiana Jones? The first step is to learn your surroundings. You must have every single map layout ingrained into your mind. You need to know how to flank the enemy and how to flank the flankers. Speed and stealth is key. Of course, some maps may be more difficult to remember. Looking at you, Mirage. The best maps from my personal experience to remove the spines of your enemies would be Bazaar, Warehouse, and Desert Storm. All these maps share one common thing, that being their complexity. The sheer amount of flanks and spaces to hide around corners give melee users the advantage of jumping out of nowhere and turning people into Swiss cheese. Maps which are not good for melee only is open maps that lack in confined optional routes. These maps include the Beloved Metro and Ravid 911. These maps are far too open to get close enough to stab anyone, and usually result in you camping in one spot. Learning stealth in a game such as Phantom Forces requires a lot of practice and being able to get into your enemy's head. Your biggest advantage is the element of surprise. They do not expect some crazed lunatic brandishing a knife to whip round a corner and stab them 38 times in the chest. One thing you must take note is how loud your footsteps are. Due to your increased speed while holding a melee weapon, your footsteps are much faster, and dashing forward whilst you press C while sprinting is loud enough to destroy the eardrums of the guy you're hunting down. Even when you're prone to down on the floor, even turning left and right can make noise. The best thing to do when you're waiting for some unfortunate soul is to essentially take all your hands and feet off the keyboard. Now that you have a good idea of what goes on in the mind of a melee user, we should look at some clips of my murderous sprees and analyze them. In this clip, you saw one of the simplest but most effective strategies, luring the enemy to you. If I ran out there, I would have been in the open and there would have been little cover between me and Mr. Hazer. By staying in that room, I put him into a false sense of security of him thinking that he had me trapped. Little did he know that I was the trap. In this clip, I was standing still so I could hear enemy footsteps around me. Just by coincidence, someone jumped down and stood still in a corner. I knew this due to their footsteps abruptly ending. Instead of going to them in the most direct way, I purposely went a very unusual way which he would have not expected, giving me the advantage and precious time needed to kill him. Now, before you leave, I wish to emphasize that all of this is only from experience. I am in no way a professional gamer, and simply find it funny to run around in a game, filled to the brim with guns, and kill everyone with a spatula. I only have a few kills with the spatula and other melee weapons, so don't take my word as gospel. But sometimes, the power of the melee god cannot be resisted.